English drama and Shakespeare's Hamlet. Actually, a Latin play in honor of Saint Catherine is believed to be the first play that was staged in England in 1110 AD. This form of drama was known as the miracle play or mystery play. The materials for these kinds of plays were taken from the Bible. Gradually, these miracles and mystery plays were taken from the interior portions of the churches to churchyard and then to the villages and city streets. These miracle plays in England reached its height in the 14th century. However, during 16th century, morality plays replaced miracle plays. The characters in morality plays were personified abstractions. The Castle of Perseverance, Every Man are famous morality plays. Then came Interlude, a short dramatic piece of a satiric rather than of a religious or ethical nature. This form grew up early in the 16th century. John Haywood's Four-Piece, a dialogue in which a farmer, a peddler, a pardoner, and apothecary exchange amusing stories and finally enter into competitions as to which of them can tell the biggest lie, is the most amusing example of its kind. Renaissance made the English writers learn the principles of dramatic construction and technique. Thus, Nicholas Udall, the headmaster of Eton, came out with the first real English comedy, Ralph Royster Doyster, in 1550. And then in 1561, Goboduc, the first English tragedy, was written by Thomas Sackville and Thomas Norton. However, there was a conflict between those who insisted on the classical tradition and those who wanted to establish the national taste of the English public. But a group of scholars known as the University Wits, namely John Lilly, Thomas Kidd, Robert Greene, George Peele, Thomas Lodge, Christopher Marlowe, and Thomas Nash, established the romantic form of a drama. Marlowe used blank verse in his plays with great success. Marlowe and Lilly prepared the path to Shakespeare to pass comfortably with his plays. In comedy, John Lilly was undeniably Shakespeare's first master. Similarly, Marlowe's influence on Shakespeare can be seen on his usage of blank verse and on Venus and Adonis and Merchant of Venice. Here, Marlowe's Hero and Leander and the Jew of Malta had influenced Shakespeare very much. William Shakespeare was born on April 23, 1564, in a village of Stratford-on-Avon, Warwickshire. Little is known about Shakespeare's education. He is said to be with small Latin and less Greek. His real teachers were the men and women and the natural influences like the forest of Arden, the old castles of Warwick and Kenilworth, and the old Roman camps and military roads that surrounded him. That is why no other writer has ever equaled him in the perfect natural setting of his characters. In 1582, Shakespeare married Anne Hathaway, and in 1587 he went to London and joined Burbage Company of Actors. Then started the period of his greatest literary activities. Within 5 years, the General Shakespeare has gained his entrance to the Society of Gentlemen and Scholars of London. His poem Venus and Adonis, that was dedicated to Earl of Southampton, won him both fame and wealth. Then came a series of great plays like The Merchant of Venice, As You Like It, Twelfth Night, Julius Caesar, Hamlet, Macbeth, Othello, King Lear, Antony and Cleopatra from his pen. Altogether, he has written 37 plays and 154 sonnets. However, some unknown incidents that happened in his life made him get retired from his literary activities. He left London and permanently settled at Stratford-on-Avon in 1611 and died on 23rd April 1616. Though the legend of Hamlet was already current in the folk literature of Iceland, Ireland, and Denmark, Shakespeare got it for his plot from the Danish historian Saxo Grammaticus. Historica Danica, Danish history of 13th century. Saxo, in his work, uses the name Amleth instead of Hamlet. But Shakespeare changed the names of all the characters in it. It is said, though the legend of Hamlet is based on historical fact, the proof of it is lacking. The mental torture that Hamlet faces makes the tragedy at the top of all tragedies of Shakespeare. He had an amazing genius for words. That is why Shakespeare is said to be not of an age, but of all time, and not of a land, but of all lands.